Partly cloudy skies tonight. Lows dip down to about 47. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow. Thunderstorms likely. Highs around 66. Get weather anytime by calling 824-6101 or online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Right now, 54.
WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Time now for your expanded local news. I'm Reed Kamai. A boil order is in effect in Taylorville following water main repairs. According to the Taylorville Water Department, the boil order applies to the 500 block of West Main Cross and 615 West Main Cross. Restaurants are not included. Residents in the affected area are urged to boil all water used for drinking or cooking for at least 5 minutes before using it. The boil order will remain in place until bacteriological testing confirms the water is safe. Residents will be notified once the order is lifted. State Representative Brad Holbrook is calling on Governor J.B. Pritzker to cut spending and consequently also taxes on Illinoisans. The state representative blames the governor's budget policy on the state's out-migration rate. He cites early census data which shows that in 2024, 80,000 more people moved out of Illinois compared to moving into the state. Holbrook also points to efforts by neighboring states like Indiana and Iowa to attract Illinois residents, and also discussions of the Chicago Bears possibly moving to Indiana.
Other states are not trying to send people here. They are preparing to receive people from here. Maybe even our world-class football team, the Bears. But the real question is why? Because more than a dozen Illinois counties have passed advisory referendums or joined movements expressing deep frustration with the direction of our state. We do not need the census data to confirm it. Illinois continues to lose population year after year. And when the citizens express their frustration, what do they hear from the governor? He said, and I quote, "But if you want to leave, then get up and move." Mr. Speaker, people are getting up and moving.
State Representative Holbrook argues Illinoisans are not getting the results Governor Pritzker has promised in his budgets and overall policy plans.
Families face some of the highest property taxes in America. We have the highest gas taxes in the Midwest. Fees increase, spending increases, government grows. If bigger government were the solution, Illinois would be booming. Instead, we are shrinking. Our pension system remains the worst funded in the nation. Our long-term liabilities still continue to crowd out opportunity. The temporary relief of federal bailout dollars has disappeared.
Holbrook says he believes higher taxes and more spending are not the answer, also citing the debt at the federal level.
Illinois is not failing because of its people. We have unmatched farmland, world-class universities, vital infrastructure, and hardworking families. We are struggling because of this administration's policy choices. The policies that produced outmigration will continue to produce outmigration. The budgets that have produced high taxes will continue to produce high taxes. When neighboring states draft legislation to welcome our counties, our families, our businesses, and even our football team, that is not normal. That is a red flashing warning light.
The comments came before today's State of the State address. Access to Narcan, more formally known as naloxone, is set to increase within Christian County. It's thanks to a grant that the Christian County Health Department received from the equivalent agency in Sangamon County. The department will now receive greater quantities of the life-saving medication meant for those experiencing the effects of an opioid overdose. New training mandates and opportunities will also help ensure more lives can be saved. Ellen Jackson is the emergency response coordinator at the Christian County Health Department. She says anyone in the county who wants to be trained to administer Narcan can receive the training.
Christian County Health Department received a grant from the Sangamon County Health Department to provide Narcan and Narcan training to individuals who are interested in receiving the training and Narcan for public or private use. Carrying Narcan is a life-saving measure, and it allows bystanders to immediately reverse an opioid overdose. And as some of you may know, libraries are now required to carry Narcan and ensure at least one staff member has the proper training to recognize and respond during an overdose. We at the health department will offer training to all staff members if they are interested. We are able to just be contacted, and then we will set up a date, and whoever wants to show up to receive Narcan training is able to.
The health department will provide Narcan sprays at their location. They also have a map of other locations where it is available.
So on our website, we actually have a map available with locations and facilities that carry Narcan then they hand it out to the public. We are still updating that map with a couple more facilities as we provide Narcan to these places. But and in the Christian County Health Department, we actually have Narcan available in our lobby, in the west side of our building in a Narcan box available 24/7, and in front of our new vending machine outside our front entrance that is also available 24/7. Narcan is useful for anyone to carry. It's not just for certain people, it's for everyone. I mean, especially with people who have opioids in the home that they use for pain medication, and especially if they have children present. And if a child accidentally ingests it, you can use Narcan to reverse the effects of that overdose. Those who work in the community can carry it. First responders, anyone can truly carry Narcan.
Jackson is also helping oversee the recruitment of volunteers to their Medical Reserve Corps. They are holding an information session this Saturday at 10 in the morning. It will take place at the Christian County Health Department's main location at 730 North Pawnee Street.
So our Medical Reserve Corps is our volunteer unit within Christian County that helps us organize and utilize local volunteers who want to donate their time and expertise to prepare and respond to emergencies and to support ongoing preparedness initiatives. We include anyone as our volunteers. You do have to have a background check, but that's really the only thing we ask. Our current group involves medical personnel, public health professionals, veterans, and other community members who just want to assist the health department in emergency preparedness training and exercises, disaster support, medical surge support. One of the main things we do is our community vaccine clinics. We did a couple of those back in September and October. And then we keep planning more things and keep trying to figure out what else we can do to help benefit the community.
The health department will also host its food safety workshop on Wednesday, April 22nd. Joe Torres, Director of Environmental Health, says they will discuss the most frequent health-related violations so attendees can learn how to avoid the same mistakes.
A lot of it is, I think record keeping is a good one. I'm going to be kind of touching base on emergency kind of preparedness when it comes to restaurants this year. And then every year we do talk about like the top violations that we've seen for the previous year and kind of discuss like, hey, we've seen this a lot. So let's talk about how we can avoid these violations. So our goal is to kind of educate the community about food safety when it comes to violations. That way they're not, repeat it multiple times.
The workshop will also feature discussions surrounding water safety and boil orders. It comes amid a number of boil order instances in recent months, including the one in Taylorville that was mentioned earlier.
It's important for people to, be aware if there is a boil order. There's a lot of work being done on the water infrastructure, so anything can happen. We do post on our website, on our Facebook page, when there is a boil order. And when it comes to food establishments or, people who are serving food to the general public in our county, we will contact those establishments to let them know, because there are certain things that you have to do to make sure your water is safe. Some of the things, you have to have safe, potable water to serve to the community. So people don't really think about certain things like coffee machines, soda machines, ice machines. Those all have to be turned off unless you can get a supply of water for a safe water supply for them. We want people to boil their water for a rolling boil for at least 1 minute before they use it.
More information on the Christian County Health Department is available at cchdil.org. Ellen Jackson and Joe Torres appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. And now a word from Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Looking to save more and stress less? This is Will Perkins. At Taylorville Community Credit Union, we're here to help you build a stronger financial future with great loan and deposit rates, convenient locations, and service from people you know and trust. We're member-owned, member-focused, and proud to serve anyone who lives or works in Christian, Montgomery, or Shelby counties. Discover the credit union difference. TCCU is your partner in financial success. Member NCUA.
Anyone looking for tips to improve their metabolic health can attend free seminars on the topic later this week. The sessions are expected to present practical ways to improve this area of health and introduce attendees to lifestyle tips. The topic is of particular relevance in the United States. A study at Tufts University in 2022 shows just 7% of American adults were in good health in this area, though other similar studies produced slightly different conclusions. The seminars are scheduled as follows. This Friday from 6 to 8 in the evening, there will be a session at Destiny Fellowship Church in Mowequa, and that's located at 2500 North Main Street. This Saturday from 11 in the late morning to 1 in the afternoon at the Hampton Inn in Decatur. That's where a session will take place, and that is at 4855 Evergreen Court. Saturday evening from 6 to 8. There will be a session at 230 Country Place in Springfield. And on Sunday from 1 to 3 in the afternoon, the final session will be at Ken's Doghouse in Taylorville. Ralph Falconberry and Luann Stone organized the talks. Falconberry runs and serves as a health mentor with an initiative known as Feel Great System. They say the talks are focused on helping fight insulin resistance.
They're free, community-focused events designed to help people understand insulin resistance, which is related to blood sugar, weight, energy, and heart issues. So we're going to be talking about getting to the root cause of these issues like fatigue, stubborn weight, inflammation, rising blood sugar, and giving simple, practical steps in how to improve those to get your metabolic health back.
Basically, it's an informal meeting and just basically a get together where we're sharing the information. We have a couple of special guests coming in from Ohio, our higher ups. They're coming in from Ohio as well as flying in from Florida, and they're going to be hosting the event and they're going to be putting it on. And then all of us are going to be telling our testimonials and sharing our results and how we got to where we got and sharing it with other people so we can show them that it's easy, it's simple, and it's safe.
Stone says her work in this area was inspired by her health challenges and a coincidental interaction with Falconberry.
I actually was overweight. I was 55 pounds overweight and started having heart palpitations. And it was suggested that I lose some weight. And I was actually vegan and eating 6 to 8 times a day, which I thought was what I was supposed to be doing. And didn't know what else to do. I ate very clean, no sugar, no junk food and everything, but my weight just kept going up. And so I came across Ralph here in a cemetery accidentally.
Oh, gosh.
And he told me how he had lost his weight.
Falconberry says he lost around a sixth of his weight following the protocols to be discussed at the seminars.
I was working at a cemetery at the time, working with the Genealogical Society here in town, and I was doing a restoration project out in Palmer, and she came along and asked me about my weight loss because she'd seen me before. My personal story, if I can do this, anyone can. I was almost 310 pounds. I lost 50 pounds in 4 months doing nothing but following this protocol and paying attention to what I was told to do. 50 pounds fell off, no calorie counting, no macro counting, no crazy exercise routine, no gym membership. I just did what I was told to do and followed the advice that I was given. I lost 50 pounds. I reversed my diabetes. I went from a 7.9 A1C to a 5.4. My insulin resistance score, which I didn't even know what that was before because it was never spoken about, I was a 5.7. The chart only goes to a 3. And I went from 5.7 to 1.5, which is healthy, all within 4 months. I went from a size 4X clothes to wearing extra large now.
Stone continues her story, saying she believes following this process saved her life after she became stricken with an aggressive form of breast cancer in 2012.
I did treatments and was pretty much to the point where I couldn't do treatments anymore because it was declining my health. The doctor said if I didn't do the treatments, I would probably have 6 months, but that's why I chose. And I went home and chose to start getting healthy naturally and reading as much as I could. Started getting better and feeling better. And that's what led me to all of this after meeting Ralph and learning about metabolic health. My goal is for no one to ever have to go home and tell their kids that, the doctor says if you don't do their treatment, you only have 6 months. And so I just want everybody to not have aches and pains and fatigue and high blood pressure and that, and to get their metabolic health back in check.
More information on the seminars is available on Falconberry's and Stone's Facebook pages. Ralph Falconberry and Luann Stone appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. Through an Illinois Pork Producers Association contest, a Champaign County establishment is home to the state's best pork tenderloin sandwich. Jeff Buckler is owner of Buford's Pub in Sedoris. Buford's Pub features hand-built tables, a large outdoor deck and bar, live entertainment, and a menu anchored by its signature giant pork tenderloin. The leader of the Illinois Retailers Merchants Association is cheering on a ruling from a courtroom after a federal judge upheld a first-of-its-kind law. The law aims to protect retailers from having to pay swipe fees when customers pay by debit or credit card. For Rob Carr, the chief executive officer of the IRMA, the ruling by a federal judge is a win for every consumer across the state. However, the ruling may not last long, as the Illinois Bankers Association and the Illinois Credit Union League could file an appeal soon. According to Carr, if the ruling is appealed, the IRMA will take the case to the state's Supreme Court. Now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 87-year-old Ivan Dean Waterman of Harville died last Friday. Visitation is tomorrow from 9:30 till 11 at Huff Dean Funeral Home in Raymond. The funeral service will immediately follow. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Huff Dean Funeral Home in Raymond. 76-year-old William E. Durham of Taylorville died on Sunday. Cremation rights have been accorded. Arrangements will be made at a later date. Those arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. 86-year-old Philip James John P.J. Sloan of Taylorville died February 5th. The funeral service will be this Friday at 10 at Printy Funeral Home in Carthage. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Printy Funeral Home in Carthage. 89-year-old Carl R. Reed of Taylorville died February 10th. Visitation is today from 10 till 11:30 at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. A graveside service will immediately follow at Fraley Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. And 88-year-old Sona Beavers of Taylorville died January 16th. A memorial mass will take place on March 6th at 10 at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Taylorville. Interment will be at Green Hill Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and cremation services in Taylorville. Let's take a look at the weather quickly. It is currently fair with 53 degrees as the temperature. We expect sunny skies today with a high near 69. Could be another windy day. West wind of 9 to 16 miles per hour with gusts as high as 26 miles per hour. Tonight a low around 47. Get local news anytime at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and every hour as well right here on WTIM, your only local news radio.
This is Blaine Cornwell with Prairie State Insurance. Life can be complicated with a lot of uncertainty in the world today.